Hey guys, it's Heather from Here She Grows, and I am in my vegetable garden, and I feel like this is a place where I haven't been very often this year, and it definitely shows it. I've, been working and family things, and I got around. I did plant it, but that's pretty much all I've done back here, and it shows. But I thought it would be really fun to take you along with me as I revitalize this space and maximize the space so that I have a really great yield next year. But part of this is wanting to beautify it too. I really wanted to make it pretty. And there are things here. When my husband built these raised beds 2 years ago, I never got around to staining them. So they are made of cedar. The wood has oxidized. It's got that gray coloring to it, which is nice, but I did really want to stain it. I wanted to add a nice surface to the bottom, to the ground. Right now, we're currently covered in plants that I've divided that I don't know where I'm putting, or maybe I'm just going to chuck them, and weeds and old wood chips, and I've not done anything with this. I also wanted to put in some edging, a really nice edging of some sort to contain whatever it is that I use as a surface. I also wanted to add some more containers to maximize this space. So my vegetable garden is about 10 by 20 feet. I have 2 raised beds that are 8 by 4 feet and about 2 feet deep to deal with the rabbit issue. And we've had a few rabbits, very athletic ones, who have still been able to get into these raised beds and have their nests. But both of my raised beds they're connected by a hog panel trellis. And there's just things back here that need to be done that'll make it a much nicer space to be in and make it more productive, which is ultimately the goal. I mean, just because we have a small space doesn't mean we can't be highly productive back here. So join me. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this content, and if you would like to join, come along for the ride, never miss an episode, and click the subscribe button. And I'm going to show you what I've got going on here, what things look like, so kind of a before and after thing, and really fix this up for next year. I won't be planting any cool season fall crops this year. I'm really just focusing on fixing things up back here. I will be putting down cover crop, and I do that every year to replenish the nutrients in the soil. But you can read about cover cropping on the blog heresheggrows.com, and I also have a video on it that I shot last year, so you could search that on cover cropping on my Here She Grows channel. So let's do a little walkthrough so you can see what I've got going on back here, so that you can kind of get an idea. You'll be able to compare the before and the after. You can see a number of things that I want to address in this shot here. This is some edging down here that is heaving. I want to put a really nice slick looking edge piece in there to contain whatever I'm going to put down as my surface here. Right now it's weeds and wood chips, and then the cedar has oxidized. I want to clean that off so it accepts the stain well. And I want to put I've got 2 small containers along the fence here and one just beyond the whiskey barrel. So I want to put larger containers there that are a little taller as well, because I've got a fence back here and the fence really blocks that southern light. So I need something taller so the sun can reach those containers sooner in the day. So those are some of the things we'll be doing. I'll be adding some lighting and just tweaking little odds and ends that are going to take a little bit of time, but it'll be worth it and make this a much nicer, more controlled growing space, hopefully next spring. I thought it would be better to actually show you what it looks like walking to my vegetable garden from the backyard. So this is my Matrona sedum that is just going like crazy. The butterflies and all the pollinators love this plant. But these are my 2 raised beds. They've been power washed now, so that first step is completed. But I'd like you to see what the overall thing looks like. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, as you get closer up, you can see how kind of gnarly everything looks back here. A lot of old wood chips, a lot of weeds in here, a lot of plant divisions that I've not done anything with. Sometimes it's just really hard to part with those things. But the challenge back here is this is the south side of my yard. So growing along this fence is a little difficult because the light is a little less, and sunlight doesn't hit this space till later in the day. So I have earth boxes back here, but I realize after having grown here for the last couple years, I need taller containers so that the sun hits it a little sooner in the day. And those are my fish in the garden, but those are going to be back here too. But you can see all the weeds here, a lot of clover. I think I'm going to be doing pea gravel down here. Oh my gosh, and I've got so many tomatoes that I need to get to back here. Can't believe the chipmunks haven't beat me to them. But I've got tomatillos here that have seen better days. But compost bin, I think I need to rethink that too, because it's really difficult getting all the compost out of here, especially if I'm going to do pea gravel surface. I might consider doing a tumbler type of composter, just so that it's elevated and keep the critters out of it. Although this is lined with with a very narrow wire mesh to keep all the critters from burrowing underneath it. Although right now it's just a complete train wreck, as is the rest of this garden. But you can see here, there's a lot of room for improvement, and it has a hell of a lot of potential. But also here is the edger that I want to replace. It's heaved. It's just a rubber edger that gets pounded in with some stakes. And that's coming up, but I really want something that separates the space from the grass to this whatever surface I choose here. But that's what it looks like right now starting out, and I hope you'll join me for the transformation. So let's walk through, let's have a look at these tomatoes really quick. These are, wow, I cannot believe the chipmunks did not beat me to these guys, and they're starting to blush up, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick these just so that maybe, well, yeah, these look awesome, and they'll ripen the rest of the way. That's a myth, by the way, that they have to, they have to ripen on the vine. As long as they're starting to blush up, the chemical process is happening. You can bring them in and they'll complete it and still taste awesome. So let me get the other one out of here. And with that, guys, I hope you'll join me for my garden transformation, and I will see you soon.